Hey, good morning. Excuse me. Looks like we're live. Sorry, I'm a little tardy. Just trying to get my stuff together here. And getting my Facebook set up too. And we will get started here in just 1 minute. Bear with me, guys. Okay. Anyway, I'm working on getting my Facebook going here. Just bear with me for 1 minute. Well, for some reason, in case you're looking, oh, maybe I can do it here. Oh, never mind. So, in case anybody's looking, I'm doing the Facebook event, and I got to turn my camera around. It's actually in the event comments. So, in case you're looking for it, it's there, and I think we're live. So it says, okay. I haven't confirmed audio on the I haven't confirmed audio on the YouTube yet, so let me do that really quick and then we'll get started. Excuse me, guys. A little froggy this morning. Everybody got their coffee? Got a drink? Tequila? Wine? Sunday fun day. In quarantine. Not really quarantine, but all right. Let me see if I can see it. Oh, here we go. It says I'm live. Quarantine. Yeah, and we have audio. Okay. That's all I needed to know. Let me get that out of here. Get my Facebook back up. Okay, we're back. All right. So I think we're ready to roll. I don't know if anybody's watching, but if you are, good morning. Happy Sunday, Fun Day Sunday. How's everybody's day going so far? I'm getting a message from YouTube, but it doesn't appear to be anything serious. So we're gonna press on. So anyway, how's everybody's Sunday going? I just wanted to get on and do a little live update because I haven't done it in like a month, and I usually try to do like every other week. So I'm tardy as usual, but we're just trying to do some updates, let y'all know what's going on, say hello, get some see you out there, make sure everybody's out and around. So that's what we're gonna do. I was supposed to be fishing today, and so I got a story to tell. I was supposed to be fishing today, and the Thursday night, as many of you know, I've been working on a house rehab project, and Thursday night on the way home from the rehab project, I ran over was going down a dark road, and I ran over a bunch of it's like pallet wrap, like saran wrap stuff that they wrap pallets with, and big appliances and stuff like that, right? laying in the road, and thought I got by with it until I heard it underneath the truck sounded like it was wrapping around the drive shaft, and that's just what happened. So I had to get out of the truck, cut all the crap off I had to take a knife and cut all the saran wrap stuff off of the off of the drive shaft, and I managed to get most of it off, but there was like one little piece that was still hanging there. So I limped the truck home, and I got to look at it the next morning. Apparently, it had compromised the seal going into the transfer case from the drive shaft. The front of the drive shaft going into the transfer case. So I had a buddy stop by yesterday, thought maybe he could fix it, but he needed the power tools and we didn't have that capability. So needless to say, truck goes to the shop tomorrow. That's disappointing because I was thinking about actually getting up to Shelbyville today, and so I don't feel good about it. It's leaking some transmission fluid, so that's not a recipe for anything good to happen pulling a boat and all that. So truck's parked in the driveway. It'll go to the shop tomorrow. I got a backup vehicle to drive in the meantime. And if anybody logs on, please say hello, because I'm feeling kind of lonely out here. But anyway, so enough about me not fishing today. So anyway, we thought we'd do a little live thing since we weren't fishing today, and just kind of say hello, check in, make sure everybody's okay. So here we are. But I did want to just kind of give some updates on what I've been up to, what I've had going on, because got some exciting updates, at least for me. I don't know about y'all, but it's exciting for me. So recently I was kind of poking around, thinking about getting a new boat. And really, what I was looking for was something bigger than what I have. I love my little puddle jumper, and it's served me well over the years. Caught thousands of fish in it, and just had a ball. But I was kind of looking to get to a place where I wasn't tripping over equipment, and we could actually have a couple people in the boat moving around without worrying about getting flipped out of the boat. Hey, SK, how you doing, buddy? So I started poking around about maybe buying a boat, and I went and looked at a couple of things. My ideal boat would have been a War Eagle, one of them fancy ones. But all right, that's what I'm talking about, SK. Gotta get that caffeine flowing. But I kind of went and looked at some Sea Arcs, and a lot of the dealers apparently are in short supply because of COVID. There's like manufacturing shut down and stuff like that. So a lot of them are like, hey, what we got on the lot is what we got. We can't get anything else. So I looked at some Sea Arc stuff, and they're pricey. War Eagle, I kind of did some online research, and I'm just like, as much as I want to, it's out of my reach, So, so I set my sights a little lower. I looked at the Sea Arc stuff. They were fairly expensive as well. I looked at just kind of a base one with nothing on it other than a 25 horse motor. It was a 1760, I think, and wanted basically 20 grand for it. No trolling motor, no nothing. So still a little out of my price range. I went and looked at some low roughnecks, and those were a little more palatable as far as the price was concerned. But again, they were like totally stripped down. They had nothing on them other than a motor. So yeah, I kind of was like, okay, well, table that idea. But then I posted in a couple crappie forums that I was kind of considering a boat, and what was anybody's opinion on low boats, because at the time I was looking at those low roughnecks, and I don't need anything fancy. I just want something functional that I can take out, that I don't have to worry about so much about beating up, like, because I go to Reelfoot Lake every year and want to go there more, but and in a couple years I'm going to be living about 2 hours from there, so I see a lot of impromptu trips to Reelfoot in the future. But I didn't want to get a fiberglass boat that I was going to cry every time I took it out of the water, stuff like that. So I was looking for a tin boat and just kind of poking around and everything, and I got a message from a guy local to me. He's like, "Hey, I might have something you're looking for," and so we got talking, and one thing led to another. Price was in budget, is a used boat, but set up really well. So I ended up buying it from him. It's a G3. They call it a Gator Tough 1860. So a lot more room to work with, and it's a metal boat, and it'll get hot. But I'm going to work on doing some maybe putting some of that. What do they call it in there? The hydroturf. Seen some people modify their boats, put that hydroturf in. So I'm going to check that out. It's not a have to. I've got some rugs down in the bottom for the dog now. So but that's kind of the good part about this. I've got room for the kid, the dog, the wife, and so we've got plenty of room to move around now. And bonus was that not only did I get the boat, and it's got a 70 horse Yamaha motor on it, and a 4-stroker, and not only did I get the boat, but I got he left his 2 Helix units on there. He's got a couple of the G2 Helix units and a Generation 2, I should say. So a couple of those, and what else? What else do I have on there? He left his and I don't get it, but I understand it. He also let me have his spider rigging gear. He's got the spider rigging racks and stuff, which are turny fast, huh? Yeah. Well, I'm 70's fast enough for 70 horses fast enough for me. You gonna get a 300 SK? Yeah. I know those guys like to run and gun, so gotta have a big motor to keep up, I guess. So, but anyway, so I left his spider rigging gear on there, and that spider lock gear is actually really versatile, because I ended up I've been doing some pulling crankbaits lately, so I was like, I could just take these, get a couple of extra plates, which were like $11 or something. The mounting plates, put them on the back of the boat, and I can use those to pull my crankbaits too. So, needless to say, I've done some modifications to the boat. I've added I added a a center plate in the middle for when in the middle and the front for when I'm spider rigging alone. I don't have to have my racks out on either side. And then I've also added 2 racks in the back for pulling crankbaits. And I've added last night I just added another rack or another mount on the side from the front seat so that I can put crankbaits, run crankbaits out to the side. So, and what else did I do? I put another mount on the front or on the back behind the seat so that, say I've got 3 people in the boat spider rigging, I can actually set another rack in the back and have somebody spider rigging kind of out to the side. So it's evolving. It's probably end up with about 10 of those on there. I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 6. I've got 7 right now. So you never know. But you know the mounts are cheap enough, and you know you can move those around. Might have to get an extra rack if I intend on having 3 people spider rig it in there. I don't think I can fit everybody up front, but there's going to be a lot more room in there. So, but I'm enjoying it so far. Yeah, at least 150. That's for sure. I had a buddy that had he bought a big like a 20-foot Skeeter some years back, and he had a 250 Yamaha on it, and it was still, I think, yeah, it was still a 4-stroker, and that thing it scared the hell out of me. it would absolutely just scare you to death. So, yeah, there was a certain pucker factor when you're riding with him, but he had trouble keeping that thing on the water because that motor ended up getting rebuilt a couple of times. It replaced the whole top end of it at one time. So I've heard nothing but good things about Yamahas, but that particular one didn't do so well. So and that's what I've got on the new boat is a Yamaha. So far very pleased with it. So but no, so I've updated the boat or gotten a different boat, and it's 2014, so it's been around a little bit, had and what have you, but it is it's solid, and I got some extra accessories and stuff with it too. So and the price was within my budget, and it was kind of mutually beneficial because he was going to buy a new boat, a new fiberglass boat, and the dealer was gonna lowball him on the trade-in, and so it benefited him because he got a decent dollar out of it, and I still paid like way under book for it. So I'm happy so far, and it's got my biggest thing right now is learning how to use the stuff. So the helixes, I'm pretty well clueless on. I've been watching YouTube videos to kind of help figure that out, and it's got a Terrova, Minn Kota Terrova. It's got Minn Kota Terrova trolling motor on it, and I learned how to use it with the remote. Yeah, that one. Yeah, construction accident. Yeah, we're still working on that house project. So, but no, the Terrova trolling motors was a little bit of a challenge at first. Took my buddy Phil out. We kind of took it for a little shakedown run last weekend, just kind of figure stuff out, right? And he's yeah. You must have been swinging that hammer right-handed then, because that's what I was doing. Was putting in subfloor. But now my buddy, so I took my buddy Phil out, and I was, I'm in the front of the boat with the remote, and SK, I do have a remote on my trolling motor now, so that's interesting. I'm still learning, but we're kind of going into a wind, right? And I'm running that trolling motor, trolling crankbaits, and so we're going into the wind. I'm running it with my remote, and it's like first time I ever really used it for that purpose, or used it much at all, really. So the boat's going side to side. It's kind of tacking back and forth like a sailboat. My buddy's in the back. He asked me, he's like, what are we doing? Trying to avoid submarines? Kind of like the old warships in World War II, where they were going in a zigzag pattern to stay away from submarines. So he made a pretty good joke there. But yeah, I was all over the place, and but kind of got it figured out as far as running it and trolling with it. So that's a good thing. I'm still I'm still kind of inclined to do the foot pedal thing, but I totally get why the remote is so handy now, because you don't have to screw with that and have it underfoot and do it manually. So it's interesting. So learning that. But yeah, the whole boat thing kind of worked out mutually beneficial. And bonus, my buddy Mo Fisher, who fishes with me a lot, seeing a lot of my videos, he actually bought the old Monarch. So in the event that we decide we're gonna go hit some of them low horsepower lakes around here, we've got a second boat to kind of, and that was exactly why he wanted it, so that we could still go to those small lakes and stuff and be able to run a motor. So that's like a double bonus for me. So and let's see, so boat stuff, and I started to write some notes, and I totally got sidetracked. So I got nothing else written down, but. So we've updated the boat, and I'm gonna do like a video, kind of walk through what I've done and what I got and all that. Just kind of some talky stuff. And let's see what else. Equipment. So I kind of fudged the loan on the boat. Kind of fudged the numbers on the loan, because there was none that I can show on camera without shutting stuff off, I don't think, SK, but I am gonna put some stuff out there. But oh, and I almost talked the young fella into leaving his live scope set up on the boat, and he declined eventually. But yeah, I almost had him leaving it on there. But no, I'm kidding, really. But it would have been nice, but I'd have been lost. I don't know what I'm doing. So. But he ended up taking the live scope with him. But I had kind of fudged the numbers on the loan in the thought that I might actually put a live scope on it. That's kind of gone by the wayside now that I've bought some other stuff. I'm gonna have to save some money for that, but I should probably learn how to use the helixes before I try to tackle live scope. So I don't want to go from novice to live scope right away, I don't think. But yeah, so I kind of fudged the numbers on the loan, and I borrowed the money from myself, basically. So I get the interest back, which is always good. But I was thinking I would buy the live scope, but By the time other stuff got paid off, I was like, yeah, no. And then I decided, I'm going to upgrade some camera equipment. So added some mics, and going to add another camera as well, probably. What else we got? Oh, and beyond that, let's see. We're going to. So I've been thinking about. I've been thinking about kind of getting all my spider rigging gear as one one thing, right? Because right now I've got a couple ACC poles, which I really love. I got a couple of the older Wally Marshall Tightline series, which were a Bass Pro model, which I think he's with. I think he's with Lew's now, if I remember that right. But so they're older. I bought them probably 10 years ago or better. And they serviced me well, but they're kind of heavy and they're a little beat up. They need some TLC. Applies missing here and there. So and I've got a couple of oddball 12-foot poles I bought from fella down the street, Charles. And they all work well for me, but with the added space, I thought, and also too, the boat's got the Millennium rod racks on the side, right? So not only can it handle more gear, I can also pull off using 16 foot poles instead of 14. I've always said that 16s are a little overkill, but that was in looking at it from the perspective of the little boat that I had, because 16s I'd have sticking out probably 4 foot out of the boat, right? Where the one I've got now will actually handle this, and I've got the rod racks on the side. So I can put everything up to the side. I'm not stumbling over it when I'm walking around the boat, and he's got the Millennium seats in there too, and plan on adding probably getting one more of the seats, because if I want to pull off 3 people fishing, I gotta get another seat in there. So I've only got 2 at the moment, but no, it all worked out really great for me. So on the topic of the rod, so I broke down and ordered 8 new 16-foot ACC crappie sticks trolling rods, and my wife doesn't know that yet, so don't spill the beans just yet. She thought I bought 1 pole because there was just a tube on the porch. There's actually 8 in there, so shh, don't tell anybody. But yeah, so I've got the ACCs. I'm anxious to. They haven't even come out of the tubes yet, so kind of waiting to get some. Of course, you got to have new reels to go with those too, right? So we're gonna, and I'm just gonna buy some cheapo reels. I think I'm gonna got some folks from China that kind of hit me up for reviews every now and then that might get some business from me, because I bought one of their reels, and it's serviceable and cheap, so I don't need anything high dollar on there. I've already spent enough money. So but I've always said reels on spider rigging poles are just line holders anyway, right? So so got the new ACC rods. What else did we do? Went to Cabela's and Bass Pro yesterday. Bought some more crankbaits. I've been watching Mike Baker videos on crankbaits, and of course, I only had one of the models that he uses, so I went and spent a couple $100 on crankbaits yesterday. Again, wife doesn't know that. She thought I was just going to get a couple things. So, and I want to get an anchor too. I want to get one of those. The trolling motor I have has got the spot lock thing on it, which is fine. But I want to get one of those automatic electric anchors that I can lift and drop from my seat that I don't have to fool with, so that when I'm out spider rigging, I can drop anchor, get everything set up without the boat spinning around, because that's what happens with the spot lock. From my experience, just yet, is that the boat will circle. Yeah, they can. But the boat will circle a little bit if the wind's blowing you on when you got the spot lock on. So I don't want the boat going around in a circle while I'm trying to get set up with my spider rigs. So I want to put an automatic anchor on there where I can just drop it, hit a button either via remote or otherwise from my seat, drop the anchor, get everything set up, and then pull up the anchor, off we go. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. So if anybody has one of those, I've been looking at the Minn Kota ones, but I'm not sure they're going to fit where I need to put it at on the back of the boat. So and I saw a guy putting one on his boat. He basically had to disassemble the whole dang thing to put the base, to screw the base onto his boat. So I don't know if I want to do that or not. So maybe find something a little easier to install. But anybody's got one of those, got any experience with them, let me know, because hey, somebody actually joined me on Facebook. Who is it? Oh, Terry Elrod. Hi, buddy. Oh, he said you can bring you on camera. You want to come on camera, Terry? Anyway, you probably got a cat sitting on your lap about right now. But so no, we're doing some updates. I got like I said, camera and or microphone updates, and hoping to kind of reformat the YouTube stuff, get a little more talking in. So hopefully we'll get a little more talking in, actually kind of walk through what we're doing, instead of, I found it easier to do voiceover on my videos previously, just because the audio quality on the GoPros is poor at best. With the built-in microphones, I had a microphone I added to one that wasn't bad, but I broke it. But you still had to be in proximity of the camera for it to really pick anything up. And I don't necessarily need to stick my mug right in the camera, if I don't want if I don't need to. So of actually getting a wireless set up to where I can talk. I'll have audio, and I can you can actually hear, and probably try to talk through more of what I'm doing with the video, and instead of just like doing a voiceover and showing you stuff, and try to do some better intros and stuff like that too. So just some updates, nothing super duper, other than got a new boat. Kind of excited about that, but still working out the kinks on that. Still got to get figure out the equipment and electronics and all that stuff. So it'll be an interesting ride. So the biggest thing about the electronics is that you see there's a lot of videos on YouTube, right? They're saying, well, this is what you do. This is, go to this menu, but nobody actually shows you how to walk through those menus and change the settings and all that. Is just kind of, well, I go to it's not a step-by-step thing. It's it's kind of like, well, hey, here on my maps, I changed my setting to here, but it doesn't show you how to get to maps, right? So it's a big learning curve for me, and gotta figure that stuff out. So I don't want to be the guy who's spending more time playing with his electronics than I am fishing, right? So we gotta learn that stuff, so we're not fiddling with that all the time, and like you're playing a video game or something. Of course, that's what a lot of the live scoper guys do too. So, but anyway, so just a few updates. What else we got going on? Do you have a video I put out last week? And was it last week? Every time really runs together anymore. It's just crazy. But yeah, it was last week, and it was me and Mo Fisher. Was it crankbaits? I don't even remember. Anyway, yeah, it was a crankbait. We were pulling crankbaits. It was in the old boat at Coffeen Lake, and we did real good. I've got one video. I've had the new boat out like 3 times now, and I've yet to catch a fish in it. Well, anyway, a significant fish. So took the kid and the dog out one time. We're just kind of doing a little shakedown, kind of learning the stuff and all that. So took the kid and the dog out one day. We drove around the lake for a while, and then we parked in the shade and threw out a couple catfish lines. Just kind of hung out, and that was the dog's first time in the boat, so didn't want to do anything overly stressful for the dog, right? So she was real good. She did great, and she's not a fan of water, so unless she's drinking it. And what else? And I took my buddy Phil out one evening. We were working on that house project, and then we kind of got a little frustrated with stuff. And I just happened to have the boat behind the truck. Don't ask. But so we blasted off and went through a couple lines in. He caught a couple catfish. I caught nothing. Right. And then last Sunday, I drug Phil out again, and anybody that knows him knows he's not an early riser. So I managed to get him to get out of, let me pick him up at like 6 a.m. And we went up to Hillsboro and pulled some crankbaits, and that was fun. So and we didn't get into anything too serious. I only filmed for maybe a couple hours, and then we blasted off to another lake. We didn't have a whole lot of success at the other lake, so we just I didn't film a bunch there. But I think my problem was, though, and that's something that I'm kind of picking up from those Mike Baker videos, is we're not running deep enough. The stuff I have, 2 to 5, 2 to maybe up to 8 foot deep. So I think I needed some deeper diving crankbaits. We were catching the fish here and there, but the action was kind of slow. So I think we would, especially the second lake we went to Coffeen Lake. There was water surface temp was like 92 degrees. So I think those fish are down closer to the thermocline, so you got to run a little deeper to get to them. So that was the point of my trip to Cabela's and Bass Pro yesterday. So anyway, we're gonna be getting after it again next weekend. We're trying to wrap up our house project. We've got the kitchen's almost together. I painted doors this week, and the doors will be going on. We got carpet being installed next week, next Tuesday. And once the carpet's installed, I can start putting baseboards in and putting the doors in. I got to paint trim and stuff, and kind of learn how to do some new stuff too. So I've done trim before, but I've never actually had to paint it. So we're painting it all before we put it on, and then just touching up after the fact. So. It's interesting stuff. So, but if anybody happens to know anybody is looking for a nice little rehabbed house in Brighton, Illinois, for around $140K, 3-bedroom, 1 bath, we should have something on the market here in a couple weeks. So hopefully by the end of the week of Labor Day. We're going to be wrapped up, because we at the point that I've got exterior doors to put on, 2 of them, and then some touch up on a couple of others. But hopefully I've got all the week of the entire week of Labor Day week off, and I'm going to be pushing to wrap all that crap up so I can do some more fishing, because this all work and no fishing thing is getting old. So but that's what I've been up to, and I just wanted to give some updates and say hello, let you know I'm still kicking. Hope everybody's doing well. We're just trying to, and we're actually taking the day off today to it's actually pleasant outside, so we're going to be out pulling weeds in the yard and doing yard work and mowing and good stuff like that. So we'll get back after the house project tomorrow evening after work, and hopefully, like I say, in a couple of weeks we're out of there and it's on the market ready to go. So anyway, that's all for me today. I just wanted to check in and say hello. Hope everybody's well, and we will talk to you hopefully, let's see, next Sunday, maybe next Sunday, because I've actually got an appointment. We've got an appointment for my buddy to come work on a car, another car, but we should be around the house, but I may or may not do a live. I may be doing just filming my boat stuff too, so we'll see. Anyway, we'll talk to you soon, and have a good day, folks.